Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Take a look around you. See the flowers in a park, the fruits in your kitchen, the vegetables in your garden. What if I told you that a tiny buzzing creature is one of the master architects behind all of this vibrant life? Today, we're diving deep into the incredible world of bees, nature's most brilliant and hardworking engineers. You might just see them as fuzzy little insects that make honey, but their role is so much more profound. Bees are the linchpin of our ecosystems, the unsung heroes of our food supply. Without them, our world would look drastically different and honestly, a lot less colorful and a lot more barren. So, how do they do it? How does this small insect hold such immense power over our planet's health? It all comes down to a magical, intricate dance called pollination. Let's break it down. Pollination is essentially how plants reproduce. For a plant to create fruits, seeds, and new plants, pollen needs to move from the male part of a flower, the stamen, to the female part, the stigma. Some plants rely on the wind, but a huge number, over 80% of the world's flowering plants, in fact rely on animals to do this job. And who is the undisputed champion of this process? You guessed it, the bee. Imagine a bee, fuzzy and focused, landing on a bright, fragrant flower. It's not there just to admire the view. It's on a mission for nectar, the sugary liquid that powers its flight and gets turned into honey. As the bee drinks, its hairy body gets dusted with thousands of tiny pollen grains. It's like walking through a room full of glittery sticks everywhere. Then, the bee zips off to another flower of the same species. As it lands and collects more nectar, some of the pollen from the first flower rubs off onto the new one. And just like that, pollination has occurred. The flower is now fertilized and can begin the process of producing a fruit or seed. Think about that the next time you bite into a crisp apple, a juicy strawberry, or a handful of almonds. You have a bee to thank for that delicious experience. But calling them engineers isn't just a fancy title. It speaks to the sheer scale and complexity of their work. A single honeybee colony, which can have tens of thousands of members, can pollinate millions of flowers in a single day. That's an astonishing feat of teamwork and efficiency. Each bee has a specific job, from the queen who lays the eggs to the drones to the female. Worker bees who take on various roles throughout their lives, cleaning the hive, feeding the young, guarding the entrance, and, of course, foraging for pollen and nectar. It's this incredible social structure that makes them so effective. They communicate through an amazing waggle dance, a series of movements that tells other bees the exact direction and distance to a rich source of flowers. It's a complex, symbolic languager GPS system built right into their biology. This allows the entire colony to work together as a superorganism, efficiently gathering resources and pollinating vast areas. They don't just wander aimlessly. They are strategic, organized, and incredibly dedicated. They are truly nature's engineers, building the very foundation of our food web, one flower at a time. And it's not just honeybees. There are over 20,000 known species of bees in the world, and many of them are crucial pollinators. You have the big, fuzzy bumblebees, which are fantastic at buzz pollination. They vibrate their bodies at a specific frequency to shake pollen out of flowers, like tomatoes and blueberry-something honeybees, suant do. Then there are solitary bees, like mason bees and leafcutter bees. They don't live in large colonies, but they are incredibly efficient pollinators, often even more so than honeybees on a per-bee basis. Each species has its own niche, its own special set of skills, contributing to the rich tapestry of biodiversity. However, these vital engineers are facing unprecedented threats. Habitat loss is a huge problem. As we build more cities and develop more land for agriculture, the natural wildflower meadows and forests that bees depend on for food and shelter are disappearing. Imagine your local grocery store suddenly vanishing. That's what's happening to bees. They are literally starving. Then there's the issue of pesticides. While designed to protect crops from pests, many of these chemicals are toxic to bees. Neonicotinoids, in particular, are a major concern. They are systemic pesticides, meaning the plant absorbs them, and they end up in the pollen and nectar. When a bee ingests this, it can harm its navigation, its immune system, and its ability to reproduce. It's like a slow poison that weakens the entire colony. Climate change also plays a role, altering the timing of when flowers bloom, which can create a mismatch with when bees are active and need to forage. The situation is serious. Bee populations are declining worldwide, and this isn't just sad for the bees. It's a direct threat to our own food security. Roughly 1/3 of the food we eat depends on pollinators. Without bees, we could say goodbye to a huge variety of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Our diets would become much less diverse and nutritious, and food prices would skyrocket. The beautiful, interconnected web of life that bees help build is beginning to unravel. But here is the good news. We can all be part of the solution. We can all become guardians for these tiny engineers. And it's easier than you might think. One of the best things you can do is to plant bee-friendly flowers in your garden, on your balcony, or even in a window box. Choose native plants that bloom at different times throughout the year to provide a consistent food source. Think lavender, sunflowers, borage, and clover. Avoid using pesticides in your garden. There are plenty of natural, organic alternatives to keep pests at bay without harming our pollinator friends. You can also support local, sustainable farmers and beekeepers who practice bee-friendly agriculture. Buying local honey is a great way to do this. Not only is it delicious, but it supports the people who are directly caring for these essential creatures. You can even build or buy a bee hotel to provide nesting sites for solitary bees, giving these lone workers a safe place to lay their eggs. Educating yourself and others is also incredibly powerful. Share what you've learned today with your friends and family. The more people who understand the vital role of bees, the more people will be inspired to protect them. Every small action so rightly deserve. Let's work together to ensure their buzz never fades away. Thank you so much for watching and for caring about our planet's tiny engineers. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, please give it a thumbs up. And do not forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our future explorations into the wonders of the natural world. See you next time.